In a realm where skyscrapers clawed at the sky and private jets crisscrossed continents, lived Elias, a titan of industry, a millionaire whose fortune was measured in billions and his life in minutes. Every second was an investment, every relationship a transaction. His mansion, a monument of marble and glass, echoed his inner silence. Elias had everything money could buy, but life, treacherous and unpredictable, was about to demand a price no wealth could afford. His perfect world collapsed with a single word: cancer. At 8 years old, Sophia, his only daughter, the reflection of his soul, was slowly fading away. The girl, once a ray of sunshine, now lay pale, her large eyes losing their sparkle. The luxury that surrounded her became a gilded cage. Elias threw money, power, and every contact in his agenda at saving her, but the disease didn't negotiate. It couldn't be bought. He was losing Sophia, and with her, the last remnant of his humanity. The Iron Man was broken, his mind in a whirlwind of despair and guilt. It was amidst this internal chaos, with news of a devastating relapse echoing in his mind, that Elias found himself in his silver Ferrari, recklessly speeding down the road. The speed was an escape, the roar of the engine a silent scream. On that cold, rainy night, Elias's world collided again, not with a corporate rival, but with a small, defenseless shadow, a dull thud. A tire squealing on the wet pavement, and then a whimper. In the gutter, sprawled and bleeding, lay a simple stray dog, its eyes pleading amidst the pain. Elias, the man who had no time for anything beyond his empires, had just run over an innocent creature. Little did he know, that accident wasn't the end of something, but the beginning of a redemption no money could buy.
The true scourge in Elias's life wasn't negative financial reports or hostile takeovers. It was impotence. He, the man who commanded empires and moved markets with a wave of his hand, was on his knees before that which could not be bought or intimidated: Sophia's cancer. Every test, every chemotherapy session, every uncertain prognosis was a relentless hammer against his armor of control. Elias's big problem wasn't a lack of resources, but the absolute lack of power to save what he loved most. His wealth became a cruel irony, a constant reminder of his inability to fix what truly mattered. In this abyss of despair, hitting Marley was more than an accident. It was a mirror. There, in the dark gutter, lay a fragile, broken life, as defenseless as his daughter on her hospital bed. The image of the bleeding stray with its pleading almond eyes pierced the armor Elias had built for himself. The problem now was twofold: not only Sophia's excruciating pain, but also the guilt of having caused more suffering to an innocent creature. Elias, accustomed to delegating and seeing problems as mere obstacles to be overcome with money, was face to face with a raw, painful reality that demanded more than his fortune. It demanded his humanity. The internal conflict was overwhelming. Taking the dog to an emergency vet in his mansion while his daughter fought for her life seemed like a ridiculous distraction, but something, a long-dormant spark of decency, prevented him from abandoning him. The big problem was that Elias was losing control not only of his company and Sophia's health, but also of himself. He was on the edge of an emotional precipice, and the small stray in the gutter was the physical reminder of his failure to protect, to care. What would he do with this new, unwanted responsibility while his own life crumbled? The question wasn't financial, it was moral, existential. And the answer, he knew, wouldn't come from a board meeting.
Who hasn't felt powerless in the face of a problem that money or power couldn't solve? Who hasn't experienced the sensation of their world collapsing, even when all appearances indicated success? Elias's story is a mirror to our own fragility. Like him, We often hide behind titles, possessions, and packed schedules, convinced that control is the key to happiness. But then, life throws us a curveball. An illness, an unexpected loss, a crisis. And suddenly, we realize that what truly matters is beyond our control. And the void in our soul cannot be filled by bank transactions. It is at this breaking point that the deepest relatability manifests. Elias, the man who wanted to solve his daughter's cancer with the strength of his bank account, finds himself caring for an injured stray in his mansion's living room. How ironic that while the best specialists fought for Sophia's life in high-tech hospitals, the cure for Elias's soul and the comfort for Sophia's pain would come from a being he almost took from life. Just like us, Elias needed to be reminded that true wealth, true healing, often resides in the simplest and most unexpected connections, in those that come to us without price or conditions. And that's when the silent miracle began to bloom. Marley, the stray, with his bandaged paw and eyes full of gratitude, found his way not only into the recovery room, but directly into Sophia's heart. He was the constant warm presence no expensive toy or nurse could be. As Sophia faded, Marley's simple presence by her side, his soft muzzle against the little girl's hand, a tail timidly wagging, brought back a sparkle to her eyes that Elias thought he had lost forever. Marley didn't speak, didn't question, he just offered unconditional loyalty and pure comfort. It was the gentle touch that healed her from within, showing that life's true magic often comes from where we least expect it, and that the greatest gifts are priceless. Imagine the freedom of a heart that, once petrified by success and pain, begins to beat to a new rhythm. The benefits of having Marley in Elias's mansion went far beyond the simple recovery of an injured animal. They manifested as a gentle rain that began to irrigate the desert in Elias's soul and his daughter Sophia's. The first and most visible miracle was Sophia herself. The stray dog's constant presence, his loving eyes, and his playful energy, even with his recovering paw, injected life back into the pale girl. Marley became the most dedicated nurse, the most effective comedian, and the gentlest therapist Sophia could wish for. He made her laugh, encouraged her to take small walks in the garden, and even helped her eat with more appetite. Seeing the sparkle return to his daughter's eyes, a sparkle that even the most expensive treatments couldn't buy, was the greatest benefit for Elias. Elias, once a distant observer, began to be drawn into this universe of affection. The benefits for him were subtle at first, but transformative in their essence. He found himself spending less time in front of spreadsheets and more time on the floor, observing Sophia's interaction with Marley and even participating. The initial guilt from hitting Marley was slowly replaced by profound gratitude. The chronic stress that consumed him began to diminish, replaced by moments of unexpected peace as he stroked the stray's rough fur. Elias was rediscovering joy in the small things, in Marley's happy barks, in Sophia's genuine smiles. The greatest benefit, however, was the redefinition of wealth. Elias, who once believed his worth was in his assets, realized that true fortune lay in his daughter's health and happiness, and the unconditional love that a simple stray brought into his family. Marley was not an investment that generated profits, but rather a treasure that generated love, hope, and healing. That dog, who cost nothing, was filling the voids that billions could never touch, showing that life's greatest gifts are, in fact, priceless, and that true security lies not in vaults, but in connected hearts.
Elias's world had become softer, more vibrant, more filled with the light of Sophia's smiles and Marley's joyful barks. He was beginning to enjoy a peace his billion-dollar empire never gave him. But destiny, at times, tests the solidity of a soul's new foundations. One night, the tranquility of that opulent mansion was abruptly broken by stealthy footsteps and the shattering of a window. An assault. Bandits, perhaps drawn by the fame of Elias's wealth, or perhaps motivated by a darker plot, invaded his sanctuary. Elias was caught off guard, his mind now more focused on Sophia and Marley than on impenetrable security. It was in that moment of terror, when Elias's control seemed to slip away again, that the perfect solution revealed its purest and most unexpected form. Marley, the injured stray that Elias had saved and who became Sophia's guardian angel, did not hesitate. With a ferocious growl that contrasted with his affectionate nature, he charged. He was not the domesticated dog wagging his tail. He was a loyal and fearless protector. Marley lunged at the assailants, barking furiously, biting and distracting them with a savage courage they could never have expected from a simple stray. His bravery gave Elias the crucial seconds he needed to react, trigger the alarm, and fend off the threat, saving his own life and, by extension, protecting Sophia. In that instant, Elias understood. Life's true, perfect solution cannot be bought. It does not reside in security vaults or in incalculable fortunes. It resides in connection, in unconditional loyalty, in the ability to love and be loved without expecting anything in return. Marley, the being Elias had almost destroyed, not only healed his daughter and softened his heart, but also saved his life, proving that the greatest treasure is the bonds we create, regardless of their origin or cost. Elias finally understood that life is not about accumulating, but about connecting. Money was a tool, but love was the legacy. This wild Echo Untold story is not just about a millionaire and a stray dog. It's about the essence of being human. It's about understanding that no matter how much we control, there are greater forces, love, compassion, loyalty, that transform and save us. Elias and Sophia found their true wealth in a stray dog's eyes. What about you? Where is your true wealth? What unexpected bonds are you failing to value? Open your heart to the wild echoes untold in your own life.
So, what's your take on this incredible journey? If unconditional love and unexpected connections move you too, then make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the Wild Echo Untold channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next logic-defying narratives. And don't forget to leave a comment telling us which part touched you the most. Together, let's keep uncovering the secrets of the unexpected.